That's bigger than mine. Oh man. Thank you, Lord. Hey, good afternoon. This is Dave with Windy Ridge Trapper. I'm going to kind of go over using a floating worm this afternoon, and it's a pretty good lure. Any way to catch bass is fun, but it's a really good way to catch bass. And I'm going to show you what the usual setup is. And then about 3 years ago, I come across a couple, 3 modifications that really helped me to get a lot more bites and catch a lot more fish. But hey, if you watch the channel, we encourage you to subscribe. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel out, and if you like it, hit the thumbs up. We try to put out a video every Tuesday and Thursday. I think it comes out in the afternoon or evening. So we'll get into this. And the traditional way that most people fish it is with a EWG hook, and they fish it Texas style and weedless, which is a great way to catch bass. And this is the typical. This is a white yum floating worm. I like to use Zoom trick worms. I like the methalate color is my favorite. And like I say, I know you can fish this one weedless around in tops of trees and brush piles and rocks and grass. But the modification I'm going to show you, you can pretty well do the same thing. Just have to be a little bit more careful. And it gets a lot of bites. It helped it probably improve my catching and landing the fish quite a bit. Most people, use a 3/0 or 4/0, and this modification that I'm going to show you, I've got an old worm here that I'll show you what I'm going to do to it. Is splitting the tail up about 2 inches, and it really gives it a lot more action. But the one thing I do is I use a number 1. This is a Bass Pro brand, but you can use whatever your favorite worm hook is. This is a 1/0 straight shank worm hook from Bass Pro, and you may think, well, that's pretty small, but it really has improved my hookups, and I have no trouble hooking and landing big fish. And a lot of people, they kind of taper off using it after spring. But the floating worm is a great bait all year round. I catch a lot of fish on it during the summer. But this way, it really is bad about twisting your line. So what I suggest you do is to take a swivel, tie it to your main line, and then use about 12 to 18 inches for a leader, and tie it on there, and that helps the twist. It still twists pretty bad, but that helps the twist. But the way I'm going to show you here, it really gives the worm a lot more action, and you can still throw it in among treetops and brush. You just have to be a little careful. I'm not going to say you won't get snagged every now and then. Around grass, rocks, it's a really good, just anywhere you would have fished it like this, you can fish this one too. It's a real good bait around boat docks, grass, rocks, smallmouth, largemouth, spots. They all like it real well and hit it real good. So let me show you, start the modification on it. And like I say, one of the main things is using the swivel and getting the leader. And you can, if you want to stick with the 3 or 4/0 hook, you can. But I guarantee you this 1/0, it really helped the ratio of my hookups. And truthfully, this modification, I get a lot more bites and catch a lot more fish. And that's what it's about, is catching a lot more fish. So I take the scissors and take your Zoom trick worm, and my favorite colors, I like methalate, I like bubblegum, white, chartreuse, but they make a number of colors, and whatever you want to try. But take it, and on the flat side, put it down, start here in the tail, and try to cut it as straight as you can. And I try to go up about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And this, you don't have to split that, but it seems like I get a lot more bites if I split it. It gives the bait a lot more action and have a lot more success. Now on this, right there is the worm sack on the worm, and start underneath and try to run it as straight as you can. and you're going to run it down through there and try to come out just right in front of where the zooms wrote, or right in front of the worm sac. And like I say, you really want to try to get it straight, and you may have to do it a couple times to get it right, but that's okay. And then just feed it up around there. And the key to this is you want it rigged where it's got a little twist, like a little J. And it really, with that in there, it really gives the worm a lot more action, and it's really a deadly combination when you split the tail and rig it like this. And like you say, you may think it looks really snaggy, but I don't have much of a problem. You just kind of got to be careful where if you cast right on top of a tree, you're going to get snagged. And I'm not saying you're not going to ever get snagged, but again, with this, it catches a lot of fish. I like to throw it on a spin cast because the key, I think, to a floating worm is you need visibility at least 6 inches, but I prefer 1 foot to 2 foot. And the clearer the water, the longer cast I try to make so that I don't spook the fish. And I usually use 8 or 10 pound test, but you can throw it on a bait cast or whatever your preference is. I just use a spin cast so that I can make a longer cast. I've got 10 pound on, and so I drop down to 8 sometimes. But I think if you give this a try and see the action that it has, that it will help your bite ratio, and usually when you get more bites, you catch more fish. So I encourage you to try this and see how you like it. And if you don't like it, you can always go back to fishing at the traditional style on an EWG hook, which is a great way. But like I say, my success improved a lot when I switched from that to this. So give it a try. And like I say, if you like the channel, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you like the videos, hit the like button. It helps us out. Till next time, God bless you, and I hope you get out on the water and get to do some fishing. And if you have kids, take your kids. If you have grandkids, take your grandkids. God bless you.